Hi, this is again Volleyball Explained Podcast, and today a very special guest is here, welcomed by me, of course, a guest who is for the very first time in the podcast. This is Arkadiusz Grzelak, assistant coach in LUK Lublin, an elite club in Poland. Hi, Arkadiusz, thank you for being here, and congratulations for the appointment.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much. I'm really appreciate for the invitation. We tried to meet previously a few times, but we were kind of busy. Of course, the time zone was different. So here we go for the first time.
Yeah, firstly, let's start with this. Is Grzelak the right pronunciation?
It's Grzelak. Grzelak means, Grzelak is R and Z in Polish language is called as Ż. So, and call me Eric, by the way. Everyone knows me in Australia under the name, not Arkadiusz. Everyone call me Eric. It's just easy for you guys. So, yeah.
Shall I presume that this is because they can't pronounce it?
Yeah, that's the main reason. And I'm also I'm easygoing with this is my nickname. Everyone knows me under the name Eric more than Arkadiusz, and it's not a problem for me.
Okay, Eric. Then you mentioned Australia. I was just about to start with that, but can you explain, because for some years you were working in Australia, can you tell us about what exactly you did there?
So I'm in Australia for 7 years. When I came there, I started to play a little bit of volleyball when I finished my career in Poland. And I started to cooperate with some coaches from overseas. As we know, the level in Australia, they don't have the professional league. They have the state league season, which is only for a few months. So I decided to have the meeting with some of the coaches from overseas, for example, from Iran, from Japan, Brazilian. And then we decided to organize the club called International Volleyball Club. And the reason is we try to basically promote the volleyball in Australia and do our best to make this country with a little bit higher level of volleyball there, which is not easy, but we slowly getting there. So at this stage, we have 3 clubs in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. The 4th one we opened recently in Adelaide. And we try to basically play volleyball, social, state leagues, open the academy for the kids. Some individual players, which are, I call them the diamonds, the superstars, they slowly coming in, but it takes some time for them to play the level which we play, of course, in Europe.
Yeah, we know that Australia has a very decent national team. Their head coach was, of course, for some time, Mark Lebedew. I believe, if I'm not wrong, also Johnny Uriarte some time ago also. And are they working on this college system like in the US and Canada, or in a different way in order to have this? Okay, not that good, but however, it's still a very good national team.
Yeah, so how does it work in Australia? Most likely, as you said, the best players, they are sent to USA to the college, which is another problem because in USA they have really good players, but also there is no professional league. So what's happening, a lot of players which have really big talent, they could play in the really big clubs in Europe, they go into the college. And most likely they're going there to study, they get in the occupation, and then they're coming back, they stop playing volleyball. So there is not the pathway which the players could follow to continue the career. In the age of 23, 24 years old, really often they finish the career. So this is the main issue. And also when you play in the state league in any states, above the state league is only one tournament which they call it is known as AVL. This year Australia Volleyball, they decide to call it as under the name of the Super League with the new rules. I'm not sure if you're aware what's happened there, but They play, for example, 5 sets. 5 sets needs to be played. So, for example, our girls, they call it wipers. They won 4-1 in the first round, 4-1. And then each set, they decide to play until the 18 point. 18 point is over. And then they have 1 or 2, I'm not exactly sure, they call it power play. So if you call the power play, you can call it before the 11 point. And in the coming 1 or 2 rallies, and you're going to get the double point, stuff like this. So it's a little bit complicated, and they try to change the system. So this Super League, basically, they are the players. They try to get the players, the best players from the states, and each state organize the tournament. So, but that's also going to be for 1-2 months. That's all.
Yeah, I believe that Australians are always awkward in some way. So here doesn't make any difference. I believe in Canada, in the younger categories, they played something like you can't score more than 5 points when serving, because if you had a very good server, for example, children of 10, 11, 12, and they just can't do it against. So yeah. Different rules can be positive because they are challenging the system, and from this challenge something very fruitful comes up. Okay, exactly. But now you're as an assistant coach in LUK Lublin. You decided to come back to the motherland. Let's say it in this way. So. How was this contract made, and how did you decide to do that? Because this is a very big task to do.
Yeah, it's a very big move. I'm really happy, to be honest, after 7 years of being in Australia. It's a really good year. It's an amazing year for me because I become the Australian citizen in January this year. Then I signed my first contract in Poland, in Plus Liga. I'm really happy to come back to Poland as an assistant coach under Massimo Botti. So it's really interesting. It's going to be a really interesting season. LUK Lublin now, Bogdanka LUK Lublin just got a new sponsor, the mine, last week. So it's the club who play in the Plus Liga 3 years already. They finished on the ninth place last season, and they missed by 1 point the playoffs. So of course this year we try to do our best to make for the first time the club history the playoffs in Plus Liga, but we're gonna see what's happened. We got amazing stuff. Everything happened really fast because I made my decision to come to Poland 3 weeks ago. They have some changes in the coaching staff, which caused most likely really last minute calls. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and can you tell us? Firstly, let's remind to all of the spectators that Massimo Botti is the coach who won the last Cup of Italy with Piacenza. However, he was changed at the end of the season, and he's now your boss.
Yes, my boss.
But let's mention. Can you share the players who play in LUK Lublin? Because in volleyball, you know that there are a lot of changes. Is this the case in LUK? And who will be the leading players, but not only, of course, for this season?
Yeah. So what's happening this year? We got big changes in the coach. The club had big changes in the coaching staff plus the players. The main star I can mention, pretty sure everyone knows, is the Thales. Thales, Brazilian libero. He's gonna join us most likely in I would say the end of September, maybe even October. They are the players who already play. We got experienced team this season. The players already play in the Plus Liga for many seasons, which should help to achieve the playoffs. I really believe in it. Yes, we need to wait for some more informations. We start to train only on the beach. at this stage because in the post-COVID, the main Polish Plus Liga sponsor, Orlen, they organized the pre-zero tournament, which is beach volleyball. They play 4-against-4 on the beach. So the players, the first assistant coach, he was sent with the players of numbers of the 6 players to Gdańsk. At this stage, they're gonna play tomorrow, start tournament in Gdańsk 4-against-4. Really interesting fact is Lublin won this tournament last season. So out of all of the Plus Liga clubs on the beach, Lublin was the best.
Of course, I will do it also at the end of the podcast, but I would like to wish you a lot of success during not only the next season, but also with the seasons ahead. But now we are going to change a little bit the topic because, of course, my idea was also to talk about Lublin, but in first place to talk about this Polish volleyball, how to say it, progress is not the best word because that is going on for more than 15 years now. But what are the main strengths of Polish volleyball? Because you mentioned also the state support. This is also very important because as long as I know, there is a lot of support from the state. I also made a podcast with Piotr from Volleytime podcast also about this some time ago. But what is the main strength of Polish volleyball?
What is the main strength? I will say the people, the fans, everything, whatever happened in Poland around the volleyball helps the sport to grow. Because of without those people, without the fans, without this atmosphere in the tournaments which Poland are organized, the volleyball won't be that popular and such a big sport in Poland. So I'm always saying the players, of course, they're making a great job because of we are number 1 in the world ranking at this stage. But without the people, without the fans, it was going to be really hard to find the sponsors and grow volleyball and put on another level. So definitely, I will say the atmosphere which is created during the games in Plus Liga and of course the national team.
Yeah, Polish fans are an example because working not only individually, having for example when it comes to the Polish national team, the white and red shirts, and not only red shirts but also scarves and so on. When it comes to club volleyball, they are always, most of them, in the colors of the club. So it's impressive, this volleyball fan culture, which is I don't think it's anywhere near to Polish fans in the world. However, when it comes to the Polish national team, you took the VNL, the last VNL, just some weeks ago, months. But I can remember a lecture of Karcz Kirai. I watched it several years ago, and there was he said that during training of the Soviet national team in the 80s, the head coach Vyacheslav Platonov was asked something along the lines of, "You have that many great players. How do you choose among them who will start?" And he answered, I choose the players who are best in reacting to failure. And the answer was, what failure you haven't lost for several years? How do you choose from that many great players? My question is, of course, linked to Polish national team because, for example, in the outside hitters roster, you have players who will be a starting player in almost all of the national teams, but they can't even get to the roster of Poland, like Artur Szałpuk, for example.
Yeah. So what's happened? This is something bigger than we think. Coach Nikola Grbic, he see them every day. So as we know, those players, they have the particular level, they top in the world, right? And then how we're gonna make selections of those players is most likely how we work in the group, how important, let's say, is the atmosphere in the team, because we could see what's happening with the Perugia last year, right? Like they have superstars, but apparently we don't know what's happened inside the team. But I believe there was not such a great atmosphere. I don't know what's the cause that thing, but we could see that the team cannot perform on the best level without that. So I believe the way, if you have the top players, we can see only their performance during the games, but the performance during the training sessions, the failure on the training sessions, how they react on the stuff, how they support the teammates, how important they are to create a group to support the players. Because if you check even the bench, how they react on every single point which is get by Poland, since at the first point in the game is incredible. So I believe they create the family, and this is the most important. The good example can be even the Polish national team of the women's, because of if you check the players who play for national team for women's in the past few years, they couldn't win anything. They were, I will say, average team. And in the past, Lavarini, what he started to do with the team, he tried to create I believe, good atmosphere. He tried to connect with the players, and suddenly they won the bronze of VNL as well. So out of the level, out of the skills they can play, it's really important to create a group who cooperate together really well and create, I call it, the family. Of course, if we have the group of 12 people, we're never going to be friends with everyone. But if we are able to cooperate together really well, then this is how the championship team can be created.
Yeah, you're talking about atmosphere, and this is very important because you're perfectly right with Perugia, and not only for one season, probably for more, because they got this failure several times already. Not only this year in the Champions League, the league and the cup, but I would like to link that with a interesting topic. I would say a controversial topic, and I named it the Drzyzga case. And what I mean under this is that Nikola Grbic didn't call in the team Fabian Drzyzga, a top setter, two times world champion in 2014, 2018, and his explanation was that I have a first setter. I'm not quoting it the precisely, but that was the meaning. I have a first setter, and Fabian is not suitable or appropriate for a second one. I can remember that Plamen Konstantinov, head coach of Bulgaria now, head coach of Bulgaria also back in 2014, said the very same thing about our setters. What do you think about that?
What I think, this is how you mentioned, we got the players who can play top level, multiple players on different positions. The setters, we got a little bit different scenario because we are lack of the quality. We were thinking that way, that we had only Drzyzga and Łomacz. Behind them, we had a lack. We had a lack of the setters, but apparently Janusz, he does great job and he's number one now. So in that case, in Poland, if you're not sure, if you read the forums, the social media in Poland, there was really big fights about the opinions. People shared their opinions about this scenario. In Poland, everything was said already about this. What I can say. This is the coach's decision, individual decisions. Again, sometimes the player, the personality, sometimes the tempo which the setters play, sometimes the idea for the volleyball in the team can be different than the previous coach. So this is individual decisions of the player. This is basically what I wanna say, because again, some players, they can fit into the team. Sometimes when the new coach is coming, some players, they may not be fitting for him in the team. He has different ideas, different plays for them. That's all in that topic, what I try to say.
Okay, and then comes the next question. Has Poland any weaknesses?
Of course. There is no team without the weaknesses. They are, of course, the weaknesses. If you check even the statistics, Poland, for example, they didn't pass that well in the last VNL compared to, for example, the USA national team, the way how they play. I'm really happy that Poland won, but the way how in the Gdańsk in the finals the USA were playing, for me, when I was watching them, they were unstoppable. Okay, in the finals, of course, the finals, as we know, is different scenarios. Anything can happen, but the team from USA up to the finals, in my opinion, was the best playing team in this tournament. So there is, of course, multiple weaknesses which we can talk about. But at the end of the day, again, they create a group. They had the individual players who create the team, and they managed to win those games. But the first thing I can tell you, if you check the statistics, was the passing out of the system. Of course, we have the strong wings, and even without Bartek Kurek, because he had a low back injury, Kaczmarek, he needed to play, and he did really well. So, a lot of out of the system balls on their own pass, but they managed still to get the points from that.
Yeah, by the way, I'm on the very same opinion. I thought that USA, if not win this, it would be a very even match with an unknown winner. And I believe it wasn't the case, mostly due to the fact that for some years they just can't find a substitute of Matt Anderson in the opposite position. I don't know if you can agree with that, but they try to do it with the Falco or just some mixing system with playing with Russell DeFalco and Jashkin at the same time, and just didn't work out. So I believe that was the case. Just Poland is much better in having a depth in the team, something which is not there for Brazil, for USA, for I also believe also for France now, even though these teams have a very big, very capable starting 6 or 8, 9 players, just Poland and probably Italy is on the same page now, but not that consistent. Just you have a lot of players which can just change and interchange, and nothing significantly just getting worse, because you have Bednosh, you have Leon, you have Slivka, you have Semeniuk, you have Fornau, and you have players like Shaupok, Kwolek, or I don't know who else who are not in the team, and this is fantastic.
Yeah, I want to ask you the question. This is really interesting, because the people usually see those superstars, right? Which we have. If any of the players you mentioned doesn't play in the first lineup, doesn't start in the first lineup in their teams, in the clubs, they do. So the bench position, for example, whoever starts from the bench, is completely different scenario. Some players, they can start from the bench and they can give the quality to the team. You can be superstar, and then if you don't start in the first lineup, it's really hard for them to start, for example, from the second or third set when the coach needs you. So I believe we are lucky because of those players. They always give you quality. There is no drop in the level. Another national teams, they have a little bit more problems with that. As you mentioned, the USA, for example, the coach tried to save the game. Sometimes the substitution which didn't work. Of course, that can happen to any team. It's just part of volleyball. Sometimes like that, but sometimes I'm always saying whoever start on the bench and need to help the team during the game suddenly jump, I call it from the fridge after 1 hour without not doing much, after some stretches, stuff like this, is also a really important skill. So this is our big advantage, I will say, for Polish national team. Those players, they start in the clubs, in the first lineups every single game, but it's also really important for them to help the team after, let's say, 1 hour of the game when they jump from the bench inside the court. So this is really important skill. And sometimes when you when you do the selections to the teams, the coaches also need to be aware of this stuff, because they need to have the players who help them. I don't know, on the service, and they know anytime they put them on the service, they can do some break points. I don't know, some tasks, or even swap on the position for outside hitter. Sometimes the superstars cannot give you that much quality as a player who is not that famous, but he can react really well when he jumps from the bench. So again, this is the individual decisions. The coaches, they need to know their own players.
Yeah, and I would like to ask you a provocative question. I believe that several days after the final in the VNL, I posted a provocative photo with a comment, with a caption, and it was unpopular opinion. Alexander Slivka is the best player in the world now. Can you share this opinion, this unpopular or probably Polish popular opinion?
Yes, Alex, I cannot say if someone is the best or not, because
okay,
actually,
let's say the most complex.
Because interesting question. At this stage, to be honest, Oleg Śliwka, he won everything in the 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, the Champions League. Now Oleg is also really important person, really important player in the national team as well. He is the one who hold the group together for the national team. He creates really good atmosphere. He's, I will say, the captain. I don't know if you saw the photo, even Bartek Kurek, when he raised the cup of the VNL. Who was with that Bartek Kurek? He called Oleg Śliwka there as well. Oleg is really important point in the Polish national team. He's the leader of Zaksa as well. He's one of the best in the world. If he's in the coming years, if he's, I will even say he could be the best this year. Why not? Why not? His tips, stuff like this. I know a lot of people is unhappy with his play sometimes, but he changed volleyball his own way. I really like those players, like, for example, Erwin Engapet. He played on volleyball. Oleg Śliwka with those tips, with the attack system. He also changing, he creating something new. He tried to show a little bit different volleyball. So for me, he's one of the best. This season, even could be the best in the world. Why not?
Yeah, let's say it in this way: if there was a Ballon d'Or in volleyball, he would take it this year. Especially if Poland wins also the European Championship, and I believe this is a good transition to this topic. So let's go to the expectations for the Euro 2023. Let's just remind us the groups, because Poland is in the group with North Macedonia, Montenegro, Netherlands, Czech Republic, and Denmark. Except for Netherlands, even though Poland is, of course, the big favorite there, I would say it would be a piece of cake for Poland. And the harder matches will come probably in the quarterfinals and next
round.
And I mean, quarterfinals, semifinals, as long as I remember, semifinals will be with Italy if anything is going around according to plan. In my estimation, Poland will win it. I tried to do this how they used it in the NHL and NBA, the bracket, just to fill out the brackets, and I believe that Poland will win this. They are the favorites, in my opinion, not only because you won the VNL 2023, but what is your estimation? Because easy group as it seems, but do you think that there could be some underwater stones there?
There is for sure the gap between top, let's say, Poland, Italy, France, I will say Serbia, not anymore, but there is some teams which are the top ones, and then there is the gap and then there are some teams a little bit behind. What I say, the level of the volleyball is improving with some national teams, which is good. But that's what I mentioned. There is still a big gap between them. So it's really hard to say anything about those teams, because, to be honest, we even don't watch them too much during the season, because they don't play VNL, stuff like this. So it's really hard to tell too much about those teams. A really personal, what I'm thinking, the big underdog, but can make some surprise, gonna be the maybe Turkish national team, because of they start to invest. Oh, now we can see the table.
Yeah,
they start to grow the volleyball. So I really believe the Turkey can do some upsets in the Pool D. Pool A: Italy, Switzerland, Serbia, Germany, Belgium, Estonia. Italy, Serbia, of course, maybe Germany will fight for the spot with Serbia. Pool B: Bulgaria, Finland, Slovenia, Ukraine, Croatia, Spain. You want me to tell you about the Bulgaria and Slovenia? Pool C: North Macedonia, Montenegro, Poland.
That would be nice. because yeah.
Yes.
The matches of Bulgaria will be played in Varna. If we qualify for 8 finals and quarterfinals, they will be played. They will be played also in Varna. So, if anything goes according to plan, I will be there. So I hope that we will have some reasons to celebrate. But let's just mention that Pool A will play in the 1/8 finals with Pool C, and Pool B with Pool D. So, for example, Bulgaria, Turkey, or reply of the semi-final in the Challenger Cup, Ukraine, Turkey is also possible.
Yeah, that's correct. That's right.
Yeah, and let's say it this way: who are your favorites for semis? Let's say it in this way.
Semis: Pool A is crossing Pool C, Pool B with Pool D. Italy, I believe Italy. Yeah, it's hard to tell at this stage, but there will be Italy, let's say, and Serbia. For me, and Poland, of course, will go with Netherlands. This is one game only. Netherlands. I believe Netherlands could do some upsets, but they're still gonna be the underdog. So it's hard to tell about.
I believe that in order for them to get to the semis, they need to beat Italy in the quarterfinal.
Which is of course a really hard task for them. But again, this is volleyball. Anything, I believe, if they play, they top 100% level. Italy will drop with some level, so anything can happen. But yeah, it's gonna be incredible task for the Netherlands to beat them.
Yeah, and I believe that also France, taking into account they are, I would say, also easy group, probably even a little bit easier than the Polish one. And of course, Slovenia, I would not like to say this, but Slovenia is the favorite in our group, at least on paper. But we talked with you a little bit about football before we started, and I believe Johan Cruyff once said that, or Arrigo Sacchi, I can't remember properly, but they were favorites on paper, but fortunately, football is played on grass. So let's hope that Bulgaria can win it at home with Slovenia. Okay, let's go then to the other topic and the last topic also. And this is the expectations for the Olympic qualifiers. Let's just say that the men's European Championship starts on 28th of August, and the Olympic qualifier will start in the end of September on the 30th, yes?
Yeah.
30th, of course, not 30th, 30th. And I I was able also to take out the groups. I will remove the banner because it can be seen the most possible way. So let's just explain the rules here. Each two of the groups of the pools will qualify for the Olympics in Paris next year, together, of course, with the hosts from France, together with the five, with one of each five continents. That means, of course, Europe, Africa, South America, North America, and Asia, Australia are together. So the best ranked team which haven't qualified still for the Olympics will be there. So of course, my question is, who are your favorites from these groups? Because I would say that in Pool A and Pool B, they are clear two favorites, but this is not the case for Pool C, the Pool of Poland.
Yeah, so we can see Pool A, pretty interesting stuff. Brazil, Italy, Iran. We can see the first three teams. They, of course, they're gonna have the best games in that group. Cuba, Ukraine, Germany, Czech Republic, Qatar. They're gonna be behind of them, but between each other, they're gonna play pretty even games. Pool B, Japan, United States, Slovenia, Serbia, Turkey, Tunisia, Egypt, and Finland. I'm really impressed of the Japanese national team, the way how they progress in the few years. This is this kind of team which slowly joining the top teams in the world, as we could see how they play VNL. They got the bronze. And the system they start to play, it's something incredible. The way how they progress. So this is really interesting. Also, group as United States, Slovenia, Serbia, and Japan. They are top four teams in that group. United States, we all know how they play for the nationals. And they always, for the United States, the most important always. The tournament is every 4 years, which are the Olympic Games. So they're gonna be prepared for sure for this qualification tournament. And Pool C: China, Poland, Argentina, Netherlands, Canada, Mexico, Belgium, and Bulgaria. So this is also an interesting group because Bulgaria, Belgium, Argentina. I really believe Bulgaria is gonna have some chances to make some upsets in that group.
I hope so.
Yeah,
but I'm not that big of optimist. Yeah, honestly, because with our performance in the VNL, yeah, it will be hard. Yes, Svetan Sokov is back, but the problem with him that I believe in the last years he's a little bit underperforming in the national team. I hope this will change this year. I hope very much. Let's see. Firstly, of course, the European Championship, but here, if you ask me, the Pool C problem, or not a problem but intrigue, is, for example, that Argentina has always problems with Netherlands. Bulgaria, the other way around. Netherlands, it's a very appropriate, suitable opponent for Bulgaria, and Bulgaria has also very often, if not always, problems with teams like Argentina, and especially Argentina. So this is another interesting part of this. Canada also beat us in the VNL. Mexico beat us in the World Championship last year. We played with Belgium several friendly games just days ago. So yeah, it would be a very interesting tournament. And one question more about is, in this tournament, they will play 7 matches in 9 days. what do you think about this in terms of schedule?
This is really hot topic. I just want to mention this year is gonna be a little bit crazy. When I check even in Plus Liga, the schedule, the fixture in December, we're gonna play most likely every 3-4 days games. We got 16 teams, and then we need to catch up because we got the Europe Championship plus Olympic Games this season. So we need to. It's gonna be even Plus Liga for the players. It's gonna be really crazy. Look, the FIVB need to remember that the most important are the players. So the volleyball on the high level, if you wanna see and watch the highest level, we need to take care of the players a little bit more. Those formats, I'm hearing this all the time from the physios, from the players, from all of the staff, that the calendar is just too busy for them. It's too busy. They have no time to the rest. Sometimes I talk with the players who are going for the national teams. Sometimes when they finish the club season, they get in 1 week off, and then they start to pre-season for the national teams. They cannot properly rest. So if you wanna make sure that those players they healthy, they have no injuries, and they perform, they give 100% the national teams. If you wanna see the quality level, we need to do small changes in the calendar. But I just heard, I don't know if it's true or not, I just heard they tried, FIVB also would like to do every 2 years the World Championship, right? Is it correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So another tournament which is gonna be every 2 years. It's a bit complicated, but yes, it's too intense. If you ask me about the opinion, of course, it's too intense. Those players, they need a little bit more breaks.
Yeah, that's a very big problem, and I believe this idea with the championship, and I think they will have an year with European Championship, VNL, and Olympic Games in the same year, which is totally insane for me. As long as I remember this totally absurd idea. Okay, I believe that that we were quite exhaustive with the topics. I would like to thank you for the possibility to have this conversation, and of course, your the door of Volleyball Explained and the podcast in the different formats are always open to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję bardzo. I'm also really happy that finally we could meet, because this is first time actually we talk in person with each other. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of topics to discuss, even about the leagues, Italian leagues, Polish leagues in the future. So once again, I cannot wait for more volleyball. I would like to also officially wanna congrats for your all hard work for volleyball, the way what you're doing, because of we need more programs, more podcasts like that to promote volleyball and jump on another level.
Thank you, and thanks also to all of the spectators for watching this, and see you the next time. Bye bye.